You know how they say that men always marry their mothers? Well, in the case of Prince Harry and his wife Meghan, it's kinda true. From their style similarities to their shared involvement in charities and humanitarianism to having the same personality, which meant a disdain towards the royal family, Princess Diana and the Duchess of Sussex have more than just Harry in common. Meghan seems to be following in the footsteps and becoming her late mother-in-law.
To young women around the world who aren't just poised to change the world, but who've already begun changing the world.
Princess Diana was known for her impeccable sense of style. The Princess of Wales graced the cover of People magazine more times than anyone else in history, with a fashion sense that people called all her own. 23 years after her passing, her fashion continues to inspire. And someone it inspires greatly is her daughter-in-law, Meghan Markle. Not only did Harry have 2 diamonds from his late mother's jewelry collection incorporated into Meghan's engagement ring, he also had her wear Diana's aquamarine ring to their royal wedding reception. But jewelry aside, since Harry and Meghan went public with their relationship, the 2 leading ladies of Harry's life have worn some very similar outfits. They both love classic pieces like crisp white button-down shirts, an awesome pair of jeans, colorful coats, and simple jewelry, so it's no surprise they are like fashion twins. Speaking of great coats, the 2 stepped out sporting very similar all-white ensembles, pairing the snowy look with a dark purse. And neither lady is afraid of a bold coat color either. Whether it's a beautiful cobalt blue, an emerald green, or fire engine red, Prince Harry's late mother and his wife can pull off all colors of the rainbow. But their similar love of fashion doesn't end there. Fashion critics say Meghan's Stella McCartney halter dress she wore to her wedding reception was an ode to one worn by Princess Di at a reception at Spencer House. And there's no denying that this glittery evening gown number Meghan wore to a Cirque du Soleil premiere while pregnant with Archie is a nod to the long-sleeved Catherine Walker dress Diana wore to attend a ball. And this blue floral number? Well, Meghan was obviously inspired by Diana's red carpet look when Meghan attended the princess's niece's wedding in 2018. And while a lot of Princess Diana's clothes are obviously very much of a certain era, though to be honest, the 90s are back, Meghan finds clever ways to incorporate her late mother-in-law's sense of style into her looks. When baby Archie made his debut, Meghan wore a Grace Wales Bonner double-breasted white dress, similar to one Diana wore in 1997. Meghan's updated look was sleeveless, proving some style trends like the double-breasted trend has stood the test of time, especially since the former Duchess of Sussex wore a double-breasted Prada suit at the Queen's Youth Leader Awards in 2018, with Diana wearing a very similar look on an official visit to Argentina 23 years prior. And who doesn't love a good hat? Fascinators are all the rage in court, and especially this one that Meghan wore for her first time at the Royal Ascot is totally channeling Princess Di. The white and black hat by Philip Tracy is reminiscent of the one Diana wore by Marina Killery. Like Princess Diana before her, Meghan Markle starts trends and creates frenzies at shops after she wears something in public. The princess still inspires people's fashion choices today, including Hailey Bieber's. Items Meghan is photographed wearing sell out in minutes and has people clamoring for even just similar items. People magazine reports that the stylish handbags, coats, and shoes that she's worn have sold out completely and racked up waitlists of 3,000 and more within hours. Meghan and Diana weren't just about getting designers' attention, they are both very much involved with getting charities recognized around the world. It is something that Harry shared with his mom, and now he shares with his wife. When she was alive, Princess Diana devoted a lot of her time to a lot of different humanitarian efforts. She would often be seen visiting those in other countries, offering aid and comfort. At one point, she was linked to over 100 charities. In 1996, she chose to cut ties with some of them to lead a more private life after her divorce from Prince Charles, but remained the patron of 6 charities until she passed in 1997. Landmines, HIV and AIDS, leprosy, and homelessness were some of the causes close to her heart. Her advocacy against the manufacture and use of landmines is something very much still associated with the late princess, and her son is carrying on his mother's work. Diana famously said, "Every one of us needs to show how much we care for each other, and in the process, care for ourselves." HIV and AIDS was another cause and charity associated with his late mother.
HIV does not make people dangerous to know, so you can shake their hands and give them a hug.
Harry underwent an HIV test live on Facebook to show there is no shame in getting an HIV test done. It's clear that giving back and continuing his mother's legacy is something that is very important to Harry, and is something that he would look for in a life partner. Meghan Markle, even before she met Harry, was very much involved in charity work. On the Sussex Instagram account for the International Day of Education, the account shared photos of Meghan performing charity work around the world, even photos from before meeting Harry, explaining that education is something she has always championed. Captioning the post, "Over the years, the Duchess has worked in developing communities, such as in Rwanda and India, to find the hindrances to girls' ability to go to school, and furthermore, to stay in school." Harry and Meghan, while living in Los Angeles, have been seen helping out when they can during the pandemic at charitable organizations like former presidential candidate Marianne Williamson's charity and Homeboy Industries, which is the largest gang rehab and re-entry program in the world. Royal expert Katie Nichols shares in an interview with Entertainment Tonight, "We are seeing Harry do exactly the sort of work that his mother Diana did. She was there for those that society just wanted to reject and ignore. And in that respect, I think Harry and Meghan are really keeping Diana's memory and her work very much alive in what they are doing today." Something that would also endear Meghan to Harry is the fact that the person who inspired her work with charities is her own mother. A source tells People magazine, Meghan didn't have much when she was a child, but her mom made sure they always gave back. On her former blog, the now defunct The Tig, Meghan shared, "My mother raised me to be a global citizen, with eyes open to sometimes harsh realities." Continuing with, "Both my parents came from little, so they made a choice to give a lot, buying turkeys for homeless shelters at Thanksgiving, delivering meals to patients in hospice care, donating any spare change in their pocket to those asking for it, and performing quiet acts of grace, be it a hug, a smile, or a pat on the back to show one's in need that they would be alright." It's clear that Harry needs to be with someone who can be as compassionate and caring as his late mother, and Meghan is someone who has always maintained her love of giving back. But another thing that Diana and Meghan share is a not-so-fond appreciation for the royal lifestyle. While someone like Kate Middleton is groomed for life as a royal, it never seemed to be in the cards for Princess Diana or Meghan. It's no secret that Princess Diana had a hard time in the royal spotlight. After marrying Prince Charles, Diana wrote a letter in 1991 saying how she felt extremely isolated and how the royal family continuously misunderstood her. Princess Diana, like Meghan, was someone in the royal family who liked to do things differently. She refused to say she'd obey Charles in her wedding vows, reportedly picked out her own engagement ring from a catalog instead of having it custom made, and even her style choices and charity work proved she wasn't your typical royal. Like her mother-in-law before her, Meghan proves to be a rebel when it comes to royal protocol.
I never thought that this would be easy, but I thought it would be fair.
In the Meghan biography, Finding Freedom by Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand, the authors reveal that Meghan gave her own wedding speech at the reception, and according to the royal experts over at Hello magazine, this is not a traditional thing to do. Writing, typically English royal weddings include a speech from the best man, the host, and occasionally the groom, but rarely the bride. Another way Meghan is breaking from tradition was giving birth to Archie at London's Portland Hospital instead of the royal tradition of the Lindo wing of St. Mary's Hospital. This is where Kate Middleton gave birth to all three of her children and introduced them to the world. Whereas sister-in-law Meghan and husband Harry chose to make Archie's debut days later in front of just a handful of photographers and one Press Association reporter. Months after Archie's birth, the Sussexes announced they would be stepping back from their royal duties and now live a quieter life in Los Angeles, something we think Diana would have agreed with. But would the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law have agreed on too much? According to another royal watcher, author Lady Campbell, she writes that Princess Diana and Meghan have personalities that are much too similar, and that the two would not have gotten along as swimmingly as it is assumed. Telling New Magazine, "I think Meghan and Diana are sufficiently similar personalities for there to have been potential for conflict, which would make me believe trouble may well have brewed down the line." But the author also believes that Diana would have lived with Harry and Meghan's relationship because it makes him happy.
I really tried to adopt this British sensibility of a stiff upper lip.
Like Diana, Meghan is opinionated and strong-willed. Her father-in-law, Prince Charles, according to author Nigel Cawthorne, has nicknamed her Tungsten after the strong metal, and writes that Prince Charles genuinely made an attempt to support what Harry and Meghan were looking for. Prince Harry has said recently that his mother often took the most awkward, uncomfortable, and arguably the more unpopular paths during her lifetime, something he and Meghan aren't afraid to be doing as well. Prince Harry has a great respect for his late mother and is clearly attracted to Meghan's strong will, sense of style, humanitarianism, and confidence, and sees a lot of his mother in her. So, do you think Meghan is following in Princess Diana's footsteps? Share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section, and then click subscribe for more videos from the Taco. Stay safe, and we'll see you again next time.